The backside on that is that a cargo ship somewhere in the Atlantic launched a missile to take out Norfolk, Virginia, and that it was a TR-3B that took out the missile. If that's true, and I give that a very high probability, I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that. But if you have technology that sophisticated, why are we spending billions of dollars on all this stuff that we don't need? Why don't we put that money back into helping small businesses and build the economy? Why aren't we taking that money to pay off mortgages? Okay, we have, what, 17, 18 million homes that are empty now in this country. Why aren't we doing something to put homeless people in them? I mean, you know, there's a million things to do. I mean, here we give Wall Street, what, $10 trillion, and less than 2% of that is actually being loaned back to the citizenry? Enough of that. That isn't going to work. That's not going to work. And that's not what this is supposed to be about anyway. Okay, this is a government of the people, by the people, for the people. Not for the bankers, about the bankers, and only for the bankers. No, that's not what this is about. And it never should be about that. Okay? There has to be a paradigm shift here. But it's got to come from the people. All right? Instead of whining and complaining, take it back. Take back control. If you don't like what the government's doing, then you get involved, you vote, you register to vote, you do whatever you have to do. If you can't make a change in Washington, then you make a change in the local government. We have to do something, all right? Because we're out of time. We are literally out of time. And the program needs to somehow be brought back into reality. And I don't know the mechanisms. I don't know how we're going to bridge that, all right? But someone knows. Someone who's involved knows how to bridge those realities back into ours. How to take this technology 1,000 years advanced and bring it into the world today to not only help the environment, but to make us all free. Who the hell wants to live as a slave? Nobody does. No one does in the world. Every citizen wants freedom. Every citizen wants their children to grow up free. You know, my children, your children, the people listening to their children, at this point, their children will never know the civil liberties we know. That's a tragedy. That's a tragedy. And it doesn't matter who dropped the ball or where we dropped the ball. The fact of the matter is the ball has been dropped. And we have to do right now, we have to take it back. Okay, so the program, I don't exactly know how to answer that. I've given you the best information that I have. It's complicated. It is just so complicated, you know.
Let me ask you, within the last year you've spoken again with the Andromedans after 5 or 6 years of deciding that you didn't want to be involved for a while, that you needed to focus on your own life, and you had other issues that kept you from wanting to be involved and be the public spokesperson and the messenger for the Andromedans. But in the last year you've been able to speak again with them. Have they had any input for you that's helped you understand how we might find our way out of this?
Well, the contact that occurred was really about re-engaging. It was about getting to know. It was about creating a bridge again. It's important to understand that I chose to take the break. And there were a lot of things going on in my life, but it became very difficult to walk the two worlds, number one. But number two, I had to do some searching. I had some maturing and some spiritual growth to go through. I had my own dark night of the soul, for the lack of a better word. All right? And I needed to go through those things in order to get to a place where I could create a new life for myself, a better life for myself, be more secure with who I am and what my place is in the world. And it was important for me to refocus on my family. That always has to be my priority. And it is my priority. the information that they've given us in the past, they've pretty much spelled it out. It's about taking responsibility. It's about advanced maturity. It's about taking time to get really quiet, for one, to hear their own frequency, and to just engage with themselves, connect to their soul. You know, it's about not seeing yourself as a physicality, but it's about seeing yourself as a physicality, as a spiritual soul, as a totality, not just flesh and blood. You know, we're not some mistake. We're not some pool of chemicals that magically turned into this. That's not it at all. There is a grander scheme here. There is a definite divine purpose for everyone that's here and other worlds. But it's up to us individually to want to know what that is, to search that out. And that's what it is. And you know what? You can't ignore it, because it's all the systems that we've created on ego that aren't real. They're all going to collapse, because they're not going to survive, because they're not real. What is real? Okay? When you talk about creating a reality that is sustainable, is it about the natural resources? You know what? If the military-industrial complex, if the governments of the world were truly honest, we could change things within a year. We wouldn't be taking any more natural resources from the earth. We have enough already. It isn't about the population. It's about the fact that they can't control everybody. They're just spinning it. That's all it is. They're just spinning it because they're incompetent, because they're not capable of doing it, because this is not the agenda. This is not what it's about. Earth was not meant to be a prison, and we were not meant to be slaves on our own home. That isn't going to work. Okay? But at the same time, we have to step up as people, as fathers, as brothers, as sisters, as husbands, as wives. We have to step up. As citizens, we have to step up and take responsibility. And we have to be really clear about what our priorities are, you know, and about what's right. You know, I have a great respect for anybody who's in the armed forces, but it's important to note, especially to the young people, when you became the soldier, you did not surrender the citizen. You are still a citizen. And when you finish your tour and you get out of the service, guess what? You're a citizen again. So whatever rights you took away from people, guess what? When you become a citizen, you've lost those rights too. Okay? It's important to remember that. What are you doing when you take an order? Is it good? Is it the right thing to do? Because it will come back to haunt you. You know? And you know, we can't turn on each other. That is not what this is about. This is about standing tall and standing together and making sure that we move with a common purpose. It's not about creating a civil war. We don't need any of that. Okay, people will want to do that because they're so angry. They want to just lash out in furious and anger. Take that constructive energy, take that anger, and do something really positive with it. You don't have to destroy. That's only going to create more polarity and make things 100 times worse. And it only takes the healing that much longer. We're out of time. We've got massive changes coming on a consciousness and on a physical level to the earth and to ourselves. We've got to stop. We've got to stop playing this game. We just have to stop playing this game. It's crazy. It's crazy making. I need a break.